Oh, hi. Sorry, didn't even realize it was on. So today I'm gonna do a little video, a small video on dark feminine and femininity. It might be, I might not do an open panel, okay, but I'm gonna play a couple videos pertaining to femininity because I feel everybody has an idea of femininity. So I looked up some stuff. Hi, Godbody, hi, Big Philly. I looked up some stuff because there is two sides to this feminine energy. There's femininity, which is another side where a woman, I think she can encapsulate, she can be sexual, she can be flamboyant, and she can encapture a man. Anyhow, like with most things, it's always good. Let me look up. Let me look at what it is first before I start going into my. So, dark feminine is an expression of the dark, positive, and necessary energy that captures the mysteries of womanhood and the magic and the chaos of creation and destruction, death, birth, transformation, rage, fierce, compassion, seduction, pure spiritual ecstasy. So, hi, Big Flea. So basically, I'm gonna play this video because some women can explain it better than me, and I will just go through a bit at a time for what just pick through it because I can get articles and pull up to refer to the femininity or the dark feminine energy which women holds. So I'm gonna let her talk, this lady.
Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since you guys have seen my all the links will be linked in the description box, so make sure you guys go check it out. So in this video I'm going to be talking about what the dark divine feminine is, or the dark goddess energy is. Okay, I want to talk about what it is. I want to compare it a little bit to the light feminine energy and dark feminine energy. I want to compare them both so you guys can kind of see what is the difference. But I do actually want to do a whole video just on that. But I'm going to compare those two just so you guys can see the difference of the two. I want to talk about, what dark feminine energy looks like, or dark goddess energy looks like. I want to talk about how we can embody and tap into our dark feminine energy. I also want to talk about some things within magic we can do in our dark feminine. And I want to share just a few examples of women like in Hollywood or celebrities that are tapped into the dark feminine energy, just so you guys can get another example, another feel for it. Okay? The divine feminine energy, the divine feminine archetype is the light feminine in the dark feminine. Okay, so before I even get into this, I want to say that neither one is better than the other. They are both equally needed, and the point tapping into your dark goddess energy is to make it balanced, because day to day, normally as feminine, as women, we normally see women who are in their light energy, and I will get more into that. But the point of, the divine feminine, the light divine feminine, and the dark divine feminine energy is to be balanced in both, and to know when to use them, and to, when to know and allow yourself to use your dark feminine energy when you need to. Okay, so by being in balance with both of these, that is where you're going to find and see and feel your true power. So like I said, day to day, and within most women, most of the feminine, we have been tapped into our light divine feminine for a very long time. And that's why I believe so many women right now are just escaping that part of the energy, because, and they're ready to tap into their dark feminine, because they've, as collective, as the feminine, as women, we have been tapped into our light feminine for so long. And I think just collectively, we are ready to step out of that box. I know I feel it. It's a very, very strong presence right now within the spiritual community. Okay, so day to day, normally women have been in their light energy. So what does that look like? What is the light energy? The lighter side of the divine feminine is the more feminine energy, the creative energy, the lighter energy. As feminine, we are the receivers. If we think about, our vagina is like, we receive, we are the receivers, and we create, we are the creator. As the feminine, we are, and as the light feminine, it's a nurturing energy. It's the creative energy. It's the soft energy. It's the openness to receive. I know that a lot of people don't like the word submissive, but the light energy of feminine energy it can be very submissive. And I'm not saying that it's submissive for everybody, but when you find your right person, your right partner, your right situations, that light femininity allows you to be submissive and, to let yourself be taken care of, or for you're open for things to be done for you. You're open for opportunities. You're open for love. The light feminine energy is so much, just about love and beauty and, softness. Okay. The opposite of that, the other side of the divine feminine energy is the dark feminine energy, or the dark goddess energy. Okay. So this is a deeper, darker type of energy that we all have, and that we should all know when and where we should tap into this. Okay. So when my first thought of the dark feminine is always just like a bitch that takes no fucking shit, like that stands up for herself, stands up for the people that she loves, stands up for women in general, does not take any shit. Okay. Sets boundaries, knows when to say no, and knows it's okay to say no. Okay. A dark feminine woman, and a woman in her dark feminine energy, she's gonna be okay with having boundaries, but she's also gonna be okay with just feeling any of her emotions, whether they're dark or scary. Like, she's gonna allow herself to feel her emotions with no judgment. A part of the dark feminine energy is, death and rebirth. And this by no means means actual death. It means just deading things, and letting go of things that no longer serve them, to prepare for a rebirth. Okay. So letting things go, cutting people out of your life, like anything, whether it's a thing, a person, a situation. Dark feminine energy has no fear of letting go, cutting ties, cutting people off, deading situations, because we know that we will manifest and something better will be brought into our lives. Okay. Another part, and my favorite part of the dark feminine energy, is sex and seduction and sexual energy. And a woman in her dark feminine who is tapped into her dark feminine knows how to use her sexual energy to manifest. She knows how to seduce and get what she wants in her life. And by no means does it mean seducing a man or seducing a partner. It just, like, you could literally seduce anything in life and bring it and manifest it and bring it into your life. Okay. But a lot of it is about, being alluring and luring in what you want, and using that sexual seductive energy for your benefit, and using it to manifest. Okay. So everybody has this type of energy. I know a lot of people sometimes don't feel sexy, or, whatever the case is, but I like pick something about yourself that you either really love about yourself, or that you get complimented on a lot. And for me, I love my eyes, my lips. I'm a tall woman. I use all of those things for, my advantage, and to get what you want. But it's not necessarily using it in a bad way. You're not using it to hurt anybody. Okay. I mean, if you take it there, obviously that can happen. But when you're in balance with your light and your dark, it's gonna be a healthy energy, okay? So, yes, seduction, your sexual energy. I encourage women to just get in touch with their sexual energy. I think that a great way to get in touch with your dark feminine as a sexual seduction way is to practice some sex magic. Okay, I have a whole video on this. It's pinned actually at the top of my YouTube channel. And get in touch with your body. And I would suggest doing some sex magic on your own, by yourself. Get in touch with your body, get to know your body, and it's going to make you feel sexy. It's going to make you feel like that seductress. And as a woman, as that feminine energy, you have that for a reason. So next, I want to talk about, how do we get there? How do most of the time we reach a point as women, as the feminine, that we are just ready. We're ready to not only just live in our light and energy more, we're ready to step into that dark feminine, and we're ready to stand up for ourselves, and we're ready to just have that energy of not to be fucked with. Okay, so like I said, most of us, we have all just been taught, we've been raised most of the time. I think a lot, like for me, I know
She sounds like a feminist in a kind of way. It's really weird. Um, I know for myself as a woman, I feel a woman can give off all types of energy, basically. I know she spoke about the dark energy. You can be the boss one. It could be that dark energy and all that. But at the same time, you have to, like, I think Lady Shay said, you have to balance. You have to balance. Yeah, balance. You have to know when to use that feminine energy as well. You can't just like be dark and feisty to all the time, because you have to know when to bring that side out. Like, not every man needs, which is the same thing I spoke about with the emasculation thing, the emasculating thing. If you meet someone who complements your energy, you don't even need to bring out the dark energy, really, because you more or less you place boundaries, because you go through certain experiences as a woman. So I don't feel that you need to be a certain way. I don't. To me, when people put titles on stuff, right? They make it sound so blasé, like, you know, um, right? People, women have problems. Most of the time. I'm not saying no, no, no. I ain't saying I is a feminist, but this lady does sound like a feminist. And why I say that, because some women can literally can do magical things without, you know, doing the sex magic. I feel that you don't the sex magic with the moon. Like, women at one point were saying, "Oh yeah, I've got to work with the full moon. I've got to do this at this specific time." What about just working with yourself? First of all, just work with yourself, right? You can channel. Women naturally can channel things. Women are natural seers by nature. We feel things by nature. Um, if you have a dark side to you, then you have a very evil side and demonic side to yourself. And which is why they always talk about the dark feminine as Lilith. Now, if you know the story of Lilith, you know what I'm talking about, because she's referred to as the dark feminine. So I just feel that at certain times you have to bring out the dark side feminine, and at certain times you have to reel that one back in, and then you have to bring out your femininity, because you cannot be mannish and bullish and think that you're going to get a fella. It don't work like that. You have to have a cue, like, or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sounding like a soft woman. I don't know, but that's how I see it. Because I just feel that people seem to go by these social cues and these social trends and these social things, and they said, "Oh yeah, well I'm feminine. I'm a goddess. I'm a this." No, women are naturally tapped into the moon naturally because our cycles are by the moon. We naturally can tap into certain energy, so we can walk into a room and we can tell straight away that's not a good person. And we can ideally say to the man we're with, I'm not feeling that person. And men, because they have that feminine side of them anyway, they do that as well. So I don't know whether I'm explaining it properly. I don't know. But anyway, there is an exercise so that you can tap into this. If you want to be the one who'd be doing all the extras, which I feel you don't need to at certain points, but you can play with the dark feminine if you want to, but she will take over your whole being, and then you will become this whole horrible, dark, feminine woman, bitter woman that no man might not even look upon. But you can put boundaries in. Yeah, you can use her boundaries. So, okay, I'm not into that. No, whatever. You can do that. That's how I see it anyway. But I could be just talking off my blasted head. You could tell me if I'm wrong. Just tell me if I'm wrong, innit?
Like for me, I know I've had a natural dark feminine energy within me my whole life, and I think a lot of people do, but a lot of time we just stay in our light feminine energy. Okay, so I think the reason why we get to this point as women or as the feminine, that we are ready to embody and to tap into our dark feminine energy, is a lot of the times it reminds me of a lot of why most people start a spiritual awakening and be like they're like spiraled into a spiritual awakening. And I think it's kind of a lot of the same thing, because I honestly, like, tapping into your dark feminine energy is so much of its own spiritual awakening in itself. Okay, I mean, it could be dark. There could be a lot of shadow work that you need to do when you tap into your dark feminine energy. It's not all fun. Okay, it's not all, like being sexy and, not putting up with shit. Like, there's gonna be things within that when you tap into your dark feminine energy. There's going to be things that you need to heal and you need to learn to let go of. And those things, they're never easy, right? But like I always say, it might not be easy, but it's worth it. But anyways, the reason why I feel like we get to this point where we want to, tap into our dark feminine energy is because we go through loss, we go through trauma, we go through fucked up relationships. We go through like literal heartbreak, whether it's from friendships or relationships. Most of the time it's relationships, right? Like, we go through trauma and pain, and we're just within trauma and pain. There's something within us that it like activates to like search for more or to search for healing. And like that's why a lot of us are here even on a spiritual awakening, right? Because I talk about that in my spiritual awakening video. Like, a lot of trauma, like, it leads us to search for something more, or it leads us to search for answers and reasons, and and it goes the same for tapping into your dark energy. There's gonna be pain that leads you here, and it's still going to be a journey once you start tapping into it. There's going to be things that you need to heal. There's going to be things that are probably going to be brought up within you that are going to be painful. So just beware of that. It might be hard, but like I say, it's always worth it. Okay, so next I want to talk about things you can do to start tapping into your dark feminine energy, okay? So first couple things I want to say is magically, like magic wise.
Sorry, the mic was off. I'm gonna get an article on it because it's better if we. I like to see it in black and white, to be honest. So let me see if they got any rules. Any? any. No, it's not that one. Let me see if I can get. Uh, oh, it's never straightforward. This. Let me see. Oh yeah, I was on it all the time. So what I'm gonna do, instead of her explaining it, because this is all her video, I'm gonna show. I'm gonna show you this. So, this is 10 ways to access your dark feminine energy if you wish to. Um, so, shadow work, which he was about to start to say. Shadow work is working with our shadow self, doing away with negative belief systems, uniting these separate parts together. Then it's alchemy, then it's meditation, then it's journaling, the chakra balancing exercises, opening your heart, practice love of self, embrace change. Oh wow, they got a whole. Oh yeah, I love this. Okay. Wow, how far do I reach? Open your heart, practice self love, embrace change, embrace your emotional intelligence, heal female relationships. So, I'm not going to say that how, right, we're all going to do all this, because in theory, right, you can say, yeah, right, you're going to do this and this and this. And then you end up not doing it. So you have to be realistic, because in real life, you have to be realistic. Shadow work, yeah, you can do. Journaling, most people sit down and do journaling, I will say. That's the most recommended one, I think, because I used to journal a lot. With putting things on paper, open your heart, writing from your heart and stuff. The friends one is a little prickly because sometimes, right, we break up with people for break friendships for all different reasons, and some of them are quite hard to knit together, and some of them are quite easy to let go. So I will say, because this is how I will talk to someone that I'll be dealing with if I have to deal with them like clientele basis or something, even though, you know what I mean. So with the chakra balancing, right, it's best to take your time with it, because if you open yourself up too much, you can open yourself up to stuff. Stuff meaning entities, stuff meaning, I don't know, I can't think of the word for it right at this present moment, but you have to be careful when opening up the chakra, and you can actually balance your chakras even if you're not a practitioner of any type of therapy. It's quite easy to do. It's quite easy to close it down as well. So the shadow work, I think most people, I think we go through shadow work every single day. That's an everyday thing. We face different things every day. Deal with past, present, and future, past stuff every single day. So shadow work is an ongoing thing. As for the second one, unless you are of that yoke and you're part of a system, I'll be very careful with the second one, the alchemy one. But alchemy can be two things. Alchemy can be working with oils, working with flowers, baths. So you can even go down that route. You can cleanse yourself. You can get a wand, a crystal wand, even. You can um, even open up the top of your head, which is like where the intuition is, where the mind is, where your thinking is. So, um, yeah. meditation. You can walk and meditate. You don't even have to sit down and do lotus form meditation. You can be walking in a park and be meditating. This is also for people who is empaths as well. People who are empaths are always open all the time. You have to be able to hug a tree. You have to be able to shut down. You have to know when to say no. You have to be able to put your boundaries in place. So even though it's reference to the dark feminine, it's still the same thing. So being I am an empath myself, I know for a fact that at one point I had to put down boundaries to people. I have to know when to not to talk to certain people if they get me upset, if I feel that when I see them I get angry. Or at one point, like, you have to be guided by yourself, guided by your intuition. If you're not sure about a person, you're not sure. So women as well, it's good women tap into this all the time. And as one scholar said, there is a bitch factor to it too, because we have a bitchy side, which I think is the dark feminine side of the woman. So some women might not equate this to that. Let's see what else they say. Enhance your emotional intelligence. Yeah, sometimes like women does as a woman, you can't be overly. Sometimes we get emotional. I think that's just a normal thing. Heal female relationships. Let me see if there's anything else. I like Carly. Carly is my favorite one as well. Let me see. The importance of dark feminine energy. I think she already explained it already, so I don't need to go over it. Because if you're channeling these dark entities, channeling certain things, which I said, i.e., the Lilith, but I think I'm gonna let another person speak as well. Oh yeah, binge thinker. I'm going to let the Go-Go talk, the Sangoma. She's going to talk on femininity and African spirituality. So we're going to take it a step further this time. A little step further. For those who's into African spiritualities, this might help you. This might not. It might be helpful, and it might not.
Can ask the question of, like, should we tend to the soil that as a seed gets planted, it gives us a tree that nourishes us. We tend to forget about the soil. So this woman sometimes takes the back stage or the back scene, becomes the soil. But without fertile soil, seeds can thrive. Seeds can grow to become a tree that is going to nurture us. I mean, this is the poet in me speaking. But I'm saying that every time in African spirituality, we always take care of everything. We always take care of everything. Not only the woman, not only the man, not only the child, but of everything. So if we take care of everything and we realize that the woman is a cultivator, a woman is a catalyst of life. So celebrating a woman is no question. It's actually an obligation from us as African people to always honor, revere the great one, the goddess that brings forth life. Should be done daily. But I love things like Women's Month because it's a remembering of not taking for granted. Because if you're celebrating something, you can get into a monotonous behavior of like, oh, it's there anyway, I honor and acknowledge. But when we've got a month exclusively made to honor and revere and respect women,
That's powerful for me. That's really powerful. But I want us to remember celebrating women every day. I come from the Southern African continent, a part of the continent. I come from South Africa, where I know that the women marched and said, enough, it's enough. We can't carry tompasses. We can't do this. So I am who I am. I have the ability to say and write what I like and articulate what I like, because warriors, women who walked, amaqhawekazi, walked this journey before me. So mine is to walk it ahead for the next generation, and the next generation to walk it ahead until we can return back home. Home is Africa, and Africa is a woman. That's where we need to return back to. Let's celebrate Women's Day all the time, 365 days, but this month is to actually allow us to elevate it, to leverage it, to know it, to be lit in our hearts, to be lit in our actions. So when the women walk in, we lay the red carpets. When the women walk in, we honor them. And I want to say one thing. I mean, South Africa and the world is faced in the current context, it's women hating. The current context is women hating. There's been escalation of violence against women in South Africa and in the world. When we do that, we are hating life. There's something wrong in our psyche about not appreciative of life, because if we destroy the life giver, life cannot continue anymore. So every time you're thinking of laying a hand, you're thinking of issuing out an insult, whether verbally, whether financially, in any other form, insulting a woman, it's insulting your own very essence of life. And you cannot live well if a woman is not well. Be well and make women well.
Profound. And
So I had to add the woman thing, the violence.
and then there is this the theme, 2017 Women's Month. It's be bold
For change.
be bold for change. You're gonna have to be tied because she's changing position. Kayo, Katsilo Gabam poetic Gayon. I would like you to play with these words, with these keywords. Be bold for change. Still engaging, still part of your message for Women's Month. That's the poetic that play around like with those two words for me. Be bold for change.
As women of the African nation, as we remember that we need to be bold for change, we need to unlearn what we were taught about what women is. A woman.
It's all good. It's all
No,
good.
I don't have the. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Can I pick it up from where I left it?
Yes,
You
yes.
work with the edit.
Yes.
Be
No,
bold
we'll work
for
with the
change.
edit,
Yeah.
and then cut audio also quickly, and then roll audio, roll picture. Rolling picture, rolling audio. Picture. And you change shot, right? Yeah. Thank you. And at your own time, Gogo, you can.
Be bold for change at these turbulent times where definitions and towing the line might be what is being expected of you as an African child, as an African woman. But be bold and be your own identity. Redefine who you are and walk with your own skin color very proudly. You don't have to fit in the world's shoes. You don't have to fit in Western perspective of what an African woman is. You don't have to fit in what religion teaches you're supposed to be. You don't have to feed in a man is telling you're supposed to be. Be bold and be yourself. Be bold and be yourself. Lesbian, non-lesbian, straight. Be bold, sangoma or no sangoma.
See now. What's happening now? What's happening now? She's bringing in the other factors. Okay. Now, fair enough. Women are women, right? Women are women, even if they are from the alphabet crew. Okay. So to me, I feel that she didn't have to bring that part in. To be honest, a woman is a woman. She has breast and vagina. It don't matter. Okay. So, like I said, being a feminine, like I said before, and I will reiterate. I would repeat. Right, a woman who have who have that dark and light side or whatever she is, especially even when it comes to religious practices as well, because women are very much the leaders of religious places as well, right? So if a woman is dealing with her dark side, she has to be able to balance the dark and the light. You have to be able to turn on the dark side when you need it, and you have to be able to turn it off when you need it. You can't just like say whatever. I mean, at the beginning she made sense to me, but now it's like when it's leading into separation, you are this, you are that. That's to me when it goes a bit haywire for me. A woman is a woman. We give birth. Hi, we give birth. We push children out of our vaginas, whatever. We have breast. We have one side of us sometimes that can be that's like a roaring lion, a roaring lioness. Yeah, we can calm a man down. Right, when a man is really vexed and growling and grr and da da da, that's when your femininity comes into play. Right, when a woman is sexual and she's attracted to that man and she want that man, her femininity steps into play again. Right, sometimes women can act like men. Yes, they can. Yes, it happens. Yeah, you know, it happens. In this day and age, most women have to be man and woman in some most cases. It all depends on their living, how they're living, their lifestyles, whatever. So you can't bring in certain things because right there, to me, when people start bringing in things and start separating things, that's the same with color. They start separating. Oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and this, and this, and then, and in fact, when in fact, women have even the strongest woman can be a weak woman, right? She can be the most dark, feminine you ever seen. She'll be the most. She come over like a bitter woman, but in the inside, she's soft. She right, her femininity is soft. She cries a lot, but she don't show her tears. She don't show her vulnerability because she has to show her dark feminine side. Hence, why you have to do the work, the shadow work, which I would go back to again. I'm gonna go back to the article again. You have to go do your shadow work. You have to go do your other stuff. Sometimes you simultaneously be doing your work and you don't even realize you're doing it, and it's not by proxy. You cannot say okay today, like shadow work happens spontaneously. You're always doing shadow work. You're always doing shadow work. Okay, you're always you right 24 hour 48 24/7 you're doing shadow work. You feel all types of emotions. So like when people's bringing in lesbian and all this stuff and all that stuff into play. You're a woman at the end of the day. You're a woman. The only thing is that is the difference is what you love, but not all women are like that. So to me, I feel she didn't need to bring that in, but maybe because she brought that in because maybe they filmed it on International Women's Day, which I don't understand why they. What's the point of that one neither? But anyway, like I said, meditation can be done simultaneously. You can walk and you can meditate. You can walk and you can meditate. Oh, you make shadow work dolls. Oh, that sounds nice. You can walk and you can meditate. You can journal at any time. There is no fixed time for anything because sometimes people are so busy they ain't got time to do nothing. Sometimes, right, you're distracted by the littlest things. Even me, I supposed to be studying and I'm always distracted. I get distracted real easily, right? So for you to engage and do these lessons or whatever you got to do, right? Because people think chakra balancing is always attained to new age. People spontaneously open their chakras without even realizing they're doing it. Okay? right? Another thing, when you practice self-love. Now, my self-love is that I like to eat food, and I like to drink Guinness, and I like a good movie. Sometimes I actually like my own company, even though I'm surrounded by my children. I like my own company so much. I don't even want to go outside sometimes. So that's the way that you're practicing your self-love. Then you have to have a very good friend to talk to as well, right? Like, so when they're talking about dark femininity, feminine, and the light feminine, to me it's the same for the same in respect, because women have dark and light in them anyway. When a man hurt a woman, her dark side comes out of her. She's bad. She wants to do something. She wants to do the most wickedness. To me, like I said, like they when it's when people separate the two with the dark and light femininity, right? A woman can be a seer as well. She can do dark magic spontaneously, very easily. All right, doesn't take a genius to work out how to do magic on a man. Okay, and on top of that, right, she also can do the most wickedness, and she can be very bitter. So I don't even know what I said before. I lost my trail of thought just for that 1 second. So, but anyway, I'm gonna refresh my brain. So the dark feminine is the expression of dark and positive, and necessarily the energy that captures the mysteries of womanhood, magic, and chaos of creation and destruction. Death, birth, transformation, rage, fierce, com- compassion, seduction, pure spiritual ecstasy. So to me, see, I feel the light one also does nearly the same thing. I'm sure. I'm sure the light one. I'm sure if I put in femininity, right, it's gonna probably come up with nearly similar aspect or something nearest to it. So femininity can be understood as social constructed, and there is also some evidence that some behaviors considered feminine are influenced by both cultural factors. See, now they talk about cultural factors, overlooking at the spiritual aspect. So on this slide now, well, not even slide, sorry. It's not a slide because I don't know how to do the slideshow. So you have to excuse me. All right, the divine feminine is creative, wise, nurturing, self-reliance. What I said, sexual, intuitive, compassionate, rep, 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 I can't even say that. I can't, my dyslexia kicks in. So the dark feminine is manipulative, ego, selfish, codependent, sexually unbalanced. Oh, spiteful, seduces to feel powerful. Now that sounds like a Lilith to me as well. But I noticed that they added Carly's face here. They added Carly's face. And if you know the story of Carly, I don't have to, I don't think I need to explain that one. I think Red Squid went over Carly or somebody one time when I was in his chat. But yeah, so I didn't really want to go on for long. I just wanted to put up a couple videos on it really because It just came to my mind. I don't know, because I've been doing some builds and some other stuff. And this one came into my mind. So I'm going to see if I can get the feminine energy on here, because they refer to Lilith a lot. I'm not very good at explaining stuff sometimes. Oh, this lady talks about the light and dark one too.
Do you see this app right here?
So let's just hear from this lady, because I'm not good at explaining stuff unless I'm really like at the beginning I was feeling that, but probably when the woman talk is gonna come to me again. Oh, thank you, Red Squid. I wasn't sure then, but I'm going to let this lady explain, because they're saying what they're saying, and I think in another way, but I could be thinking contrary to them. It's not that I'm trying to be different, but
when you're just learning how to be feminine, okay? And I'll get into what I mean by that in a second. And the other reason why I mostly just speak about light feminine energy is because most of the women that I coach are women who are marriage minded. Either they're already married and they're seeking to improve their marriage, or they're women that are in relationships and they want the ring, they want commit, they want to get married, or they're single women that are seeking marriage minded men that are going to be protectors, providers, leaders, and things like that. And in order for you to obtain this and accomplish having that type of marriage or that type of man, you're going to have to embody the qualities of a good wife, of a good mother, which are going to be qualities like being nurturing, being affectionate and compassionate, being peaceful and positive, being much more supportive, being a good helpmate, having these different type of qualities that are going to make a man view you as a woman that is going to make a good wife, a good homemaker, good caregiver, good helpmate, things like that. And that is light feminine energy. Dark feminine energy is not any of that I just said. It is not bad, only if you have ill intent. Now, if you're using dark feminine energy to be just manipulative and sneaky and conniving, and you're only focusing on yourself, you're just being selfish, you're not using it to improve a situation in any way, shape, or form, then yeah, that is when it becomes toxic femininity. That's when it becomes destructive. And when you don't have control over it, and you don't have that balance, and you don't know how to operate from light feminine energy, that is when it would be viewed as something that is bad, and some people view it as evil. All right. And so the reason why I'm making this video is because over the next several weeks in my group sessions, we're going to be focusing on understanding different aspects of masculinity and how to use different feminine techniques to be in harmony with that and how to balance that. Okay. But in order for you to understand everything that we're going to be discussing, you're going to have to understand dark masculinity and how dark masculinity calls for dark femininity. And again, dark feminine energy can easily become toxic femininity if you do not have control and if you do things with ill intent. So for example, dark masculine energy, men use that sometimes when they're trying to get something from us, but we're not cooperating. Sometimes they will tap into a very aggressive energy that pretty much lets us know they are in the position of power in that moment. They're not using their masculine energy to keep us safe. They don't care if we feel safe in that moment. They're not being protective in that moment, even though they might not harm us, but they're using their masculine energy to let us know I'm the one that's in power and you're going to do what I want. They're doing what they need to get what they want from us, right? That is dark masculine energy. If a man does not have control over that, and he feels like he has to operate in that way all of the time, it easily becomes toxic masculinity, where he is always aggressive and he's always destructive, always harmful, he's always being rude and things like that. He's always speaking down on you. That's going to be more in the toxic, right? So it's the same thing with dark femininity. When you're using pretty much what comes natural to you to get what you want. When you're using the qualities that a man doesn't necessarily have to get what you want from a man, because you know using these qualities will get him to do something, then that is pretty much the same thing as a man using his aggressive nature to get you to do what he wants, knowing that you can't get to that level of aggressiveness, right? He might not can get to the level of persuasiveness or the level of seductiveness or the level of sensuality. You know, he might not get to the level of being as desire oriented as you can as a feminine woman. So that is going to be you using dark feminine energy to get what you want. Again, you don't ever want to use it with ill intent. And that doesn't make sense. Another example, and where you most commonly see dark masculine and dark feminine energy, is in the bedroom when you're being intimate. You both may very well care for each other, love each other, gentle with each other. He wants to keep you safe, you want to keep him safe. But in the bedroom, his dark masculine side comes out. He might choke you, he might spank you, he might call you names that you don't find respectful, okay? But you don't feel unsafe. You're actually turned on by it, and your dark feminine side comes out, and you start being much more wild. You're not calm and peaceful and soothing in that moment. You become a little bit more risky. You become a little bit more seductive. You might scratch him. You're not being nurturing in that moment, right? So that is where you see a lot of dark masculine and dark feminine come out when things get really heated in the bedroom. But you don't view that as toxic. You don't view that as you harming each other or being destructive towards each other. That is dealing with pleasure and desire and satisfaction. That is when you're dealing with dark energy, okay? Again, you just have to have control over it. That lack of control makes it toxic. Here are some of the differences between light and dark feminine energy. Light feminine energy deals with positive feelings, positive emotions. Dark feminine energy does deal with some of the negative emotions that we try to avoid, okay? When you are understanding of what these deep desires you have are based off your negative emotions, and you're able to also understand what another person's desires are based off of their negative emotions and their feelings, it really does help you to understand what it is you need and what it is they need. And that is something that dark feminine energy does. When you're operating from light feminine energy, you care more about the well-being of other people. You want other people to feel good. You want other people to be happy. You want to bring joy and happiness to others. When you're operating from a dark feminine energy, it has a lot more to do with what it is you desire and how you doing something to fulfill the desires of others can help you get what it is you need. And so when you kind of pretty much pose as the answer to somebody else's problems, that is operating from dark feminine energy. Again, if you have no intention of really helping this other person and improving the situation, and you're only doing it to just be sneaky and to try to trick them, that is toxic femininity. But if it is something that's going to be kind of like a win-win for both of you, you're not threatening your integrity or dignity in any way by doing this, then that's just simply dark feminine energy. It's just the shadow side of light femininity. Another difference, light feminine energy is going to be much more peaceful and calm and relaxed and at ease, whereas dark feminine energy is much more wild. Okay, it's a little bit more risky. It's a little bit more sassy. Okay, whereas the light feminine energy can be very submissive. So whereas masculine tell the light feminine to do something, the light feminine will just do it. The dark feminine is more like, why don't you come over here and make me do it? Okay, so it's not that she's being disrespectful and that she's just not going to listen, but she does give a little bit of pushback She's kind of like tempting the masculine. She kind of speaks to that dark masculine side where he is kind of tempted to show his aggressive nature. He's tempted to show his controlling nature a little bit. He's tempted to show his dominant side a little bit. The dark feminine kind of pulls that out of the masculine. The light feminine also is much more about expressing her feelings in order to get what she needs. So it's like, it makes me feel like this when you do this, and so I'm asking that you do this. She's going to make requests. The dark feminine is much more suggestive and much more persuasive. She has a way of putting ideas into other people's heads and making them believe that they want this just as much as she wants it. So it doesn't seem like she made a request. It just seems like he's doing what he wants to do, because again, whatever it is that she's asking for him, there's going to be a way that it benefits him as well. Okay, so that is something that the dark feminine does. She really does understand the desires and needs of others so that she can kind of like have something to play with. I'm doing this for you, you're doing this for me. Light feminine energy is very vulnerable, okay? Light feminine energy is very expressive, it's very communicative. Dark feminine energy is going to be much more mysterious. Dark feminine energy is kind of like hinting certain things that she wants through her body language, through her attire, through her facial expressions, through the energy that she's just throwing at a man. She lets him know what it is she wants, not always.
I bet you men met some women like that, eh? You met a lot of dark feminine energy. So you have to play with that dark feminine energy. But I don't think light energy is always submissive, because some women can be quiet submissive, but then no, quiet what's it, submissive but dangerous, because they have their little side to them. So and I know that for myself. Just because a woman's quiet, it doesn't mean she's submissive. Because like she could be quiet and she could be dark herself. You don't know. So I feel that's not across all female spectrums. We're not all like that. But I feel if a man is truly in tune with the feminine that he's dealing with, he'll be able to know the sides of her, when it's that side and this side and that side. So, and I think that married men can concur with me for that one. They must know when she's a bit pissed, or when she's in a seductive mood, or when she's in her next whatever phase she's in, because even married men sometimes get manipulated by their wives. So that can be their wives' dark feminine side coming out. Sometimes when people talk, I think they go across the board on certain stuff, and they need to look at things at both sides. They got balance, put it at balance, because a woman's quiet, it doesn't mean to say she's submissive at all. Sometimes some women just don't like drama sometimes, and if drama comes to them and they're quiet, they will give you the drama. But it has to get to that point for them to give you that drama. So I feel like when certain people talk about this submissive woman, a woman would be submissive to you if you treat her nicely, I feel, unless there's something that she needs from you or whatever, and it works in her favor. But you cannot say to a woman, okay, right, you must be submissive, because that could go one or two ways for you. She would either cuss you out, walk away from you, and it could be a potential wife, and you don't even know it. So, and I feel that with men are very visual beings anyway. They look at women very visually. Women are more go by his mind sometimes. Some women, not all women, go by his mind, and we look a bit. Some women look a bit deeper into a man. A man could have nothing, and she would love you to the ends. Some women would want you to have a coin, and she will just use you for your coin. See, that's her dark feminine side coming out. So I feel when people's talking on certain videos, sometimes they seem to go across the board. They don't across the spectrum. Not every woman's the same. Not every man's the same. That's the same with the masculine energy, which I might look into. I don't know. I feel like I need to look into the masculine energy because even I sometimes don't understand the masculine energy. Sometimes I'm sure it's the same with the men. Like they say, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. I would really believe that is a true thing, a true fact, because but but when the two's working together, they can work in harmony. He knows exactly what she's thinking before she even opened her mouth. She knows exactly what he's thinking before he opens his mouth. So um she can be the warner. She'll tell him, I don't like that. I don't like that person. That person's not good, and she could be right. If she is a very secure woman within herself, she could be around. Right, he can have female friends, and if she's very very secure, right, she knows. Okay, right, that my man's not going to go with whatever with another woman or whatever. So, but a woman, I feel every woman have that sexual thing. She can be wearing joggers, and her femininity is there. She don't necessarily have to be wearing a body rider or a pony printer to be noticed. So um, that's how that's that's how I see things. That's my point of view. Um, it wasn't meant to be a teaching moment, but it's turned into a teaching moment, a kind of way. I'm not the best reader, like I said. I'm not the best reader sometimes because I know the word and it just something happens. I don't know, but on certain things, if people look at things with a biased mind, an open-minded thing, and I feel that how right we all be working on our shadow selves, male and female, just that some people choose to do and some people don't. Some people been through the fire come through the other end, and it's nothing worse than when somebody's telling you that you need to work on yourself and you come through the fire yourself. You come to a place in the only thing you got to do is step up on certain things, and maybe the dark feminine will come out and she'll just bite off your head. So you have to be very careful when approaching that lioness at certain points. You have to know when to come into that like lioness, or the dark feminine, or the light feminine. Because light feminine, she probably can switch too. She could probably switch to the dark side. You don't know. So I don't know if I made sense. I don't know. I just felt right now I have to talk about this because if I don't talk about it or say my piece, and then I'm gonna come back and then it'll just be bugging me. So that's how I see the dark and light feminine. I'm sorry I ain't got slides because like this thing, my Google ain't working as good. Otherwise I would have had some better pictures and better stuff. But I feel that sometimes what I can't explain, I let other create, other channel holders who spoke about this talk about it for me, because I feel that because I feel that how sometimes right, men and women don't always, we think we know, but sometimes we don't know. So if you don't know, that you don't know. Basically, that's what they say over here sometimes. If you don't know that, you don't know. But so it's just doing your shadow work. Your shadow work, which is an ongoing thing. Yes, you'll cry, you'll break down and cry. You'll be in a room breaking down and crying. you want to punch something, you know, I mean, the way how this basically shadow work is just working on self. All it is looking into yourself. That's all it is. It's just another fancy word that people's come up with nowadays. I think it's Jati, her name is. Yeah. Right. So um so they talk about alchemy. Now when you talk about alchemy, like I said, alchemy can be many things. It can be working with oils, working with people are very creative. Women women and men have creative minds. Now, if you're a creative one and you're a painter anyway, you can do paintings. That's a part of, I think that kind of come under alchemy. Candle making, that is alchemy. Oil making, that is alchemy. I used to do healing on people at one point. That was my alchemy on the body. I used to love it. I used to love doing my Reiki and my massage therapy on people. I like giving counseling. I like giving counseling to people because I find I feel more fulfilled when I've done that. That's my little thing for myself. Like I said, myself myself love, I feel, because I'm not really a clothes buyer. I would rather sit and eat food and drink a drink and dance, and that's me. And like I said, I can be by myself alone. The only thing I haven't learned to do is put down the flipping laptop. I know I'm addicted to the laptop, but at one point I would have to put it down because, you have to take care of certain stuff. And that is part of self healing by itself. They talk about chakra work, but I feel it could go a little more deeper than that because when you open up your chakras through meditation, particularly, which people fear to understand, when you sit down and you open up that void in your body and you open up all your chakras from your head to the root chakra to the base to the heart, I can't remember, the throat, the foot, you're opening up yourself to a lot of things. You have to be able to close it down. I did put up a video on clearing the body, clearing with a feather. I haven't done anything else since then, but you can literally close down your chakras simultaneously. I can be very stubborn and I will close myself totally down to people, to things. I can do that because I've learnt to do it because I come from that kind of route. My mum's kind of that way. So I am able to do it. I can shut down totally on people very quite easily. I can literally just not talk to people for a very long time sometimes. But I have people who knows me so well. So when I shut down, they know straight away, oh yeah, there's something up with Yemi. So you have to learn to shut down your chakras. The best way to shut down your chakras, let me take the lady off the screen because I think she's explained. Right, that's better. Now, the best way to shut down your chakras is to sit down like you're doing meditation in a meditation space. You have to make your space feel very comfortable. You have to make a space. If you have to make a space for meditation, you make a space for meditation. You get your crystals, i.e., rose quartz, clear crystal, healer's crystal, the clear one, selenite, I think it's called. You create a space. You can actually literally put spaces anywhere, even in the blinking kitchen if you have to. All right. Then what you do, right? You can either stand up or you can be sitting down. And then what you do, you take your time and you ground yourself. So you picture yourself with trees growing from the bottom of your feet. I can't remember. I'm trying to remember the meditation because I used to tell people this all the time. And then you picture the tree coming from the ground, going up to your feet. And then it's like it's taking root. And then what you do now, you take time and you picture yourself closing each and every chakra one at a time. It's like a key motion. You have to picture like you're looking away the chakra points. And you have to breathe very steady, very carefully when you're doing this. Now, right, you can do it in prayer form if you wish. You can even go and Google the thing, even, right? Because I can't remember all the bits and bobs. I used to tell my clients to do this all the time. And it helps because like when you shut down all the chakras, it makes you less open or susceptible to stuff. Because outside in the world, you're susceptible to a lot of stuff, and sometimes you bring it into your house. If you have to take off your shoes when you enter your house, if you're that type of person, you take off your shoes when you enter your house. Even that way, right? You're not bringing the toxicity from outside the road. Oh yeah, what was I saying? Closing the chakras. Now you close your eyes and you take your time and you close from from the head, the neck, the heart, the root. You work your way down, all the way down to the feet. You lock it. You do a locking motion. You have to make a locking motion, like you put a key into the door and you lock the door. That's basically what you're doing. You're just locking the door. You're closing yourself down. Now, at the end of this, right? At the end of doing all that, because it takes a bit of time, you have to picture the tree root going back into the ground, but down into the earth from your feet. I don't even know if I even explained that properly, but most of the time, if I'm giving one-to-one, because I haven't given a one-to-one in a long time, I'll probably give a different explanation. Sometimes it depends on the person. Now, with the shadow work thing, I think I explained the shadow work thing already, I think I did. I can't remember. See, my memory's going, you see, getting old. Memories go. Now, the emotional side. Many people don't show the emotional side. I'm one of them. I find it very hard to be emotional sometimes. I can be a nice queen if I really, really have one of them days. So you have to show your emotions in most cases. If you like, you have to find that spot. You don't have to show your emotions to everybody. It's not necessary sometimes. Just find a spot. You can even write down your emotions. So say today I feel grey. Tomorrow I feel black. Today I feel orange. You can do it like that. You know what I mean? You can even go get music that regulates to the gigahertz of your body. That's why they do sound baths and stuff. Because your body holds different gigahertz and different hertz in the body as well. Because as you know, right, well, I can't remember how much percentage of water. I used to remember all this stuff. But anyways, right, you can listen to, I think I can't remember the hertz, the frequency. You need to have a certain frequency on your body when listening to music. That also helps too. Like I said, you have to make a space. I don't know why space is even coming up, because last time when I spoke about near-death experience and ancestry side, the space was spoken about before. So it's important that people do spaces or little spaces or some sort. You don't even have to have a big space. Mine's is in the kitchen right now. It's a very small space. It's not even that big. I used to have spaces that was big. I still have my crystals, mind you. I think I only have my cellulite right about now. It's in egg form. Sometimes I clean it as well when I get time to. So you need like, and if you are a crystal baby, you need to go hold the crystals, whatever crystal you vibrate to, and do a meditation with that. If you are a crystal baby, I'm not telling everybody to go out and buy crystals. No, I'm not. If you are a crystal baby and you're into crystals and you're into um, Shanghaites, the wire wrap things, you vibrate with it. Also, another person who's really good at meditation, for what I've seen, is King of Higher Self. So even women, you can even go look at King Higher Self video of him to explain about meditation. It's quite interesting actually. And yeah, you literally can tap in. The women, you can tap into your femininity. You like, we are very good at that. We know when to do it. Sometimes just because of the way society is, we just some people or some of us don't do it because it's like we gotta play man and woman at most times. It all depends on the lifestyle. That's why like I to try not to judge people on their lifestyles, because what is my lifestyle might not be your lifestyle. So you have to be able to tap into that side of you, because we have it in us. We just don't use it. And we all can be potential wives to any man, I feel. I feel it all depends on the man, on the masculine himself. If the masculine is a certain way and acceptable in certain ways, because like even a man, I mean, it's not about the training. She can match your energy. So if you are a certain way, she'll match you somehow. It's not, I mean, you can't always expect to have perfect. Sometimes you have to have kind of sub perfect, some kind of perfect. Like, you know, so I think, I don't know whether I said enough. I've been on here a whole hour. I know I did put out the link, but even if no one don't come up, it's fine. Because on the other one, the other stream, it's easier to that people can come up because most people have that one. So I don't know if I said enough, but anyway, this is my video for tonight at 1 o'clock in the morning. They're soon too, but I see a lot of people that's coming to the chat. I'm very grateful that you all came through. I do appreciate you, because I was doing a lot of nature, the few nature boy ones, and I have to get back to doing what I love to talk about sometimes. So this is one of the stuff that I would love to talk about, because I used to follow Queen Afua a lot at one point, and she used to talk about the feminine and the masculine, talk about the meeting of minds with the male and the female, getting to know yourself. I know she's not rated. I know people like look down on her now, but at the time, she the a lot of women followed. A lot of women followed and have husbands now. So you know, and she teaches you how to be a feminine. So even if you wasn't feminine in the first place, she teaches you to be feminine. She teaches you to deal with the kitchen, the laboratory, which is what she calls the laboratory. She teaches you to deal with your children, your everything. Anyways, but I can't even go into all of it right now. So I might have to do another video on that one. But thank you for coming through, everybody. I'm gonna try to say you without messing up your names. Professor X. John Baptiste. I can't say your name, is it? Senior. I can't say her name. I'm so rubbish at names. Today's blessing. Snapping turtle. Chief crazy. Overstand. Red squid. Yeah, you should go to his channel. His channel's real good, Red Squid. Sometimes I see some stuff and I'm like, wow. Go to Professor X2. Binge Thinker. Greedy Vegan. Big Dog Philly. What is there? Onyx. Onyx, I think his name is. Cola James, who's a cool lady. Lady Shea Butter. Joyce Nicholson. Godbody. Yeah. Okay, I think I got everybody. So, with that said, because I don't know whether anybody's going to come up anyway, but because this morning as well, I think I made my point. I don't even know anyway. Just tell me in the comments when the video. Tell me in the comments and all that jazz. And yeah, I'm gonna go now. I said my piece. So with that said, I will see you later, or I'll be in your chats probably if I haven't fallen asleep. So I'll see you later. Bye.